Across the globe, protests erupt, condemning Israel and championing Palestine. Passionate voices decry injustice, they call for boycotts. But how deep does this understanding run? A closer look reveals a troubling reality. Many protesters lack basic knowledge of the conflict's history and nuances. Their outrage, while seemingly heartfelt, is often fueled by misinformation and a simplified narrative. This lack of understanding hinders any hope for meaningful dialogue and peace. This essay delves into the complex reality of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. We will explore the motivations of those protesting, the historical context, and the varied experiences of Palestinians themselves. Only through knowledge and nuanced understanding can we hope to contribute to a just and lasting peace.
Who are these protesters demanding justice for Palestine? Two groups stand out. First are migrants from the Middle East. Many have settled in Western nations seeking better lives, yet some remain disillusioned. They perceive discrimination. They feel their cultures are under threat. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict becomes a focal point for these frustrations, a way to express broader discontent with their adopted homes.
The second group consists of young activists, often students. They have grown up in a digital age, bombarded with images of suffering in Gaza and the West Bank. Social media algorithms often reinforce their existing beliefs, creating echo chambers. They are driven by a sense of social justice and a desire to fight oppression. However, their understanding is often limited to online narratives, lacking historical context and on-the-ground realities.
To comprehend this conflict, we must first understand Israel, a nation with a complex and multifaceted history. It is a land steeped in ancient history, sacred to Jews, Christians, and Muslims alike. Each of these religious groups has deep-rooted connections to this land, making it a focal point of spiritual significance. For Jews, it is their biblical homeland, the site of their ancient kingdom, where their ancestors lived and worshipped for centuries. After centuries of exile and persecution, the Zionist movement emerged in the late 19th century, seeking to establish a Jewish state in their ancestral land. This movement was driven by a longing to return to their roots and reclaim their historical and spiritual heritage. This desire was amplified by the horrors of the Holocaust, where 6 million Jews were systematically murdered by Nazi Germany. The trauma of this genocide underscored the urgent need for a safe haven for Jews worldwide. In 1948, Israel declared independence, marking a significant milestone in Jewish history. This declaration was a moment of triumph for many Jews, symbolizing the realization of a long-held dream. However, this event, while a victory for the Zionist movement, resulted in the displacement of hundreds of thousands of Palestinians, creating a refugee crisis that continues to this day. The establishment of Israel led to a profound and lasting impact on the Palestinian population, many of whom were forced to leave their homes and livelihoods. Wars and ongoing tensions have shaped the region ever since. The conflict has seen numerous wars, uprisings, and peace efforts, each leaving its mark on the land and its people. Understanding this historical context is crucial to grasping the deep-seated emotions and motivations of both sides. The narratives of both Israelis and Palestinians are filled with pain, loss, and a yearning for peace and security. Only by acknowledging and respecting these histories can we hope to find a path towards resolution.
Section 4. Palestinian Identities. Gaza, the West Bank, and Israeli citizens. The term Palestinian itself encompasses a diverse group with varying experiences and political realities. This diversity is often overlooked, but it is essential to understand the different facets of Palestinian identity to grasp the complexities of the region. The largest group lives in the West Bank and Gaza Strip, territories captured by Israel in the 1967 Six-Day War. This war was a pivotal moment in the history of the region, reshaping borders and altering the lives of millions of people. Within these territories, political divisions run deep. The West Bank and Gaza Strip are not just geographical areas. They are also political entities with distinct leadership and governance structures. Gaza is controlled by Hamas, an Islamist group considered a terrorist organization by Israel, the United States, and many other countries. Hamas's control over Gaza has led to numerous conflicts and a blockade that has severely impacted the lives of its residents. The West Bank, on the other hand, is governed by the Palestinian Authority, which has engaged in peace negotiations with Israel, albeit with limited success. The Palestinian Authority's approach is often seen as more moderate compared to Hamas, but it faces its own set of challenges, including internal dissent and external pressures. Adding another layer of complexity, there are also Arab citizens living within Israel's internationally recognized borders. These individuals are often referred to as Arab Israelis or Palestinian citizens of Israel. They hold Israeli citizenship and have the right to vote. Despite these rights, they frequently encounter systemic discrimination in various aspects of life, including employment, housing, and education. However, they often face discrimination and struggle to reconcile their Palestinian identity with living in a Jewish state. This dual identity creates a unique set of challenges and tensions, as they navigate their place within Israeli society while maintaining their cultural and national identity. Understanding these different groups and their unique realities is crucial for any meaningful discussion about the conflict. Each group's experiences and perspectives add layers of complexity to the already intricate political landscape of the region. By acknowledging and appreciating these differences, we can foster a more nuanced and empathetic dialogue about the future of peace and coexistence in this troubled land.
Section 5. Hamas and Gaza, a cycle of violence and despair. The Gaza Strip, densely populated and impoverished, has become synonymous with suffering. Ruled by Hamas since 2007, the territory has endured 3 major wars with Israel. Hamas, designated a terrorist organization by many countries, is committed to Israel's destruction. It fires rockets indiscriminately into Israeli civilian areas, provoking Israeli military responses that inevitably result in civilian casualties in Gaza. This cycle of violence has created a humanitarian crisis in Gaza. The population faces shortages of basic necessities like clean water and electricity. Reconstruction efforts are hampered by the ongoing blockade and internal political divisions. While condemning Hamas's tactics is crucial, understanding the desperate conditions in Gaza is equally important. This context does not excuse violence, but it helps explain the cycle of despair and radicalization.
Section 6, the West Bank, a tapestry of hope and frustration. The West Bank presents a different reality, one that is often overshadowed by the broader conflict in the region. While still under Israeli military occupation, it is governed by the Palestinian Authority, which has engaged in peace negotiations with Israel. These negotiations have been ongoing for decades, with varying degrees of progress and setbacks. Life in the West Bank is a mix of hope and frustration. The people here live with a constant duality, balancing their aspirations for a better future with the harsh realities of their present circumstances. There are burgeoning cities like Ramallah with a thriving economy and a semblance of normalcy. In these urban centers, you can find bustling markets, cafes filled with young people, and a sense of community resilience. However, the presence of Israeli settlements, considered illegal under international law, and the security barrier which cuts through Palestinian land, are constant sources of tension and hardship. These barriers not only restrict movement, but also symbolize the broader struggle for sovereignty and self-determination. The future of the West Bank remains uncertain. The political landscape is fraught with challenges, and the path to peace is anything but clear. The two-state solution, with an independent Palestine alongside Israel, is the internationally recognized path to peace. This vision has been endorsed by numerous international bodies and leaders, yet its implementation remains elusive. However, the expansion of settlements and the lack of progress in negotiations have made this solution seem increasingly distant. Each new settlement is seen as a step away from the possibility of a peaceful resolution. Understanding the complexities of life in the West Bank, with its mix of hope and frustration, is vital to grasping the challenges of achieving a lasting peace. The people here continue to strive for a future where they can live in dignity and security, free from the shadows of conflict and occupation. Their resilience and determination are a testament to the human spirit's capacity to endure and hope, even in the face of seemingly insurmountable obstacles.